Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling presents Reach for the Sky 2022. Jam-packed card here tonight. We have, of course, possibly the end of the Coastal Kings' reign atop holding the Coastal Zone Championship as everybody is banned from ringside in our main event. But we do have an entire card to get through before then. So, let me run down the card. Kicking off the show will be Flash Masked Cougar versus Waylon Walls. At the command of Flash Masked, his protege, Flash Masked number 2, jumped Gangster Nation before their number 1 contendership match and took out Bullseye indefinitely. Stomped the end of a chair right into Bullseye's knee backwards, made sure that he couldn't walk, injured him. He's not backstage. We don't know how long he's going to be out for, but we do know that he is out. And Waylon Walls wants revenge, and he's going to get it in a hardcore match to kick off the show. Following that, we are going to see the Expelled, Atsumori Takamura and Bunraku Kantori. They earned each other's respect. They bonded over how both of them were expelled, in their own words, by the Puro wrestling scene. How true that is or not is not important. That's what they feel, and they've made their sights clear. They said nobody in Coastal Zone truly fears us, so we are going to make them. They took out the Inner City Express. The Inner City Express say, we respect the hustle, however, you picked the wrong motherfuckers. The Guru tried to tell Ice, do not accept this match. Do not challenge these guys. You don't want the smoke. And Ice are like, Guru, get the fuck out of our way. We're taking on these Puro rejects. So, that's happening then. We then have the first ever, hopefully of many, annual CZCW Reach for the Sky matches, as the winner of this year's Reach for the Sky will, of course, get a championship match of their choosing. Any title they want, the world title, the extreme title, the tag titles if they can find a partner on the next edition of Coast to Coast. It is going to be El Jaguar, Johnny Perez, Luis Montero Jr., Hugh Dayask, Kira Lee, and Simon Waves. Whoever can pull down the briefcase will get the championship. We'll get the championship match. So yeah, Reach for the Sky ladder match. I thought it'd be fun. I didn't want to go full Money in the Bank just because I feel like that'd be really hard to do in Coastal Zone. I just want an annual ladder match at Reach for the Sky. I think it fits the name. So following the Reach for the Sky match, we have Tony the Wonderful versus Frankie Perez. Frankie Perez very much is still not over American Flash. Despite losing to American Flash, he is not over him. He can't get over it. And he is trying to take out American Flash's protege, Tony the Wonderful. But Tony the Wonderful is anything but a pushover. They aren't calling him the future of the company because he's a pretty-faced, good marketing guy. They're calling him the future of the company because he will be the future of this company. Tony the Wonderful proved that by challenging Frankie to a pay-per-view match and then beating him and Air Attack Weasel in a tag match alongside American Flash. So Tony versus Frankie. Following that, we have Zell Quinn versus Seth Whitehead. Seth Whitehead has run the gauntlet of the Q Crew. He beat up Onslaught on the first Coast to Coast taping. Then Zell Quinn's like, you ruined our moment to break out, and they jumped Seth Whitehead. And Zell Quinn has ducked and dodged Seth Whitehead ever since. Seth Whitehead has then run the gauntlet, beaten Eureka LaBelle, chased Zell Quinn out of the building, and now, nowhere for Zell Quinn to run. He has got to face Seth Whitehead mano a mano. In the next match, I believe, if I have the order wrong, I'm sorry, but I believe the next match is the triple threat match for the Extreme Championship. Tigre Salvaje Jr. defends his title against Heartbroken and Sky Hermosa in one match. So, American Flash got his championship match by pinning Masked Cougar in a tag match, and Heartbroken did the same thing. Teaming with Mitchell Aldred of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, he defeated Hugh Dayask and Tigre Salvaje Jr. in a tag match where he got a tainted fistful of tights victory over Tigre, but still a victory. And he said, based on the precedent, I should get a championship match at the pay-per-view. And Sean McFly said, yeah, that is the precedent. But then on the go-home show, Sky Hermosa did the same thing after Seth Whitehead scared off Heartbroken's tag team partner Zell Quinn. Sky Hermosa hit her finisher, pinned Heartbroken, and Sean McFly said, well, if you want to talk about the precedent, Heartbroken, Sky Hermosa just beat the #1 contender, and since we have no time to settle the differences, I guess we're gonna have to do a 3-way hardcore, well, not a hardcore, just normal extreme title rules. Heartbroken, Sky Hermosa, Tigre Salvaje Jr. In our semi-main, we have the Coastal Kings, the tag team champions Rich and Famous, and Air Attack Weasel versus Frankie Boy, California Love, and Carlos Barrera. Carlos, ever since losing that 4-way, has kind of spiraled and lost his way, but he says no more misdirecting the anger that he has towards the Coastal Kings. The Coastal Kings are going to get what's coming to them. They're going to get revenge for, you know, calling him a bitch or whatever. I can't even remember. But he has joined the fight alongside Flash, Frankie Boy, and California Love, and they are taking on the Coastal Kings. Also, California Love Machine's going to get his hands on Air Attack Weasel once again. That is still yet to be really settled. And then main event, American Flash, Masked Cougar, Coastal Zone Championship on the line, and on the go-home show, it was announced by the babyfaces that Sean McFly had added a stipulation. He is tired of these Coastal Zone Championship matches and tag team title matches ending in interference helped by the Coastal Kings. So, if anybody from the Coastal Kings, if Weasel, Jake Idol, Jackpot Jordan, Fox Mask 2, any of them show their face, not even get involved, just show their face in the arena, then Masked Cougar is disqualified and he will drop the title as a result. And out of fairness, Sean McFly says the same thing goes for the babyfaces. If anyone who has been teaming with American Flash, i.e. Carlos or Going Coastal, make an appearance, American Flash automatically loses the match. There is no one getting involved unless they want to ruin everything that they've worked so hard to achieve. So Masked Cougar, truly with his back on the wall this time. Last pay-per-view, we're like, now he's going to lose it because it's a 3-way, and he snuck away with the victory. Now, once again, everybody banned from ringside against one of his toughest and most bitter rivals, American Flash. Can CZCW's homegrown star get the championship away from this evil, evil Coastal Kings faction? So, that was a good recap by me, patting myself on the back. I hope you all are excited to see what goes down on this pay-per-view, so let's get straight in to Reach for the Sky 2022. So we open Reach for the Sky 2022 with the 3 biggest baby faces in the company, essentially saying, with Sean McFly's newest stipulation, nobody involved in this storyline, nobody on the babyface side, nobody in the Coastal Kings allowed to interfere in the main event, or else Masked Cougar's title is vacated or American Flash loses without losing. Fox Mask has nobody to rely on. Masked Cougar's got nobody to fall back on. He's gonna have to face American Flash one-on-one, mano-a-mano. No one's going to be able to help him. He's going to be stuck in a corner, and the reign of the Coastal Kings terror is over tonight. And they cannot wait to raise American Flash's hand as the new world champion. Opening the show is the hardcore match between Waylon Walls and Fox Masked 2. Fox Masked 2 has done nothing but fuck with Gangster Nation at the demand of his mentor Fox Mask, and it catches up to him as he takes on Waylon Walls in a hardcore match. He's still young, so he doesn't have that much hardcore in him, but he does pull out a couple of good things, and he does take some crazy bumps. So in that regard, he was cool. But no, Waylon Walls defeats him in 10 minutes and 24 seconds and gets some small some small token of revenge for his fallen partner, Bullseye. 47 rated match. We cut backstage to find the Q Crew. Wasted Potential are fucking bruised and battered, and they can barely move. Eureka's got a giant ice pack. Onslaught's limping, and Zell Quinn is like, guys, what the fuck? And they're like, what? And Zell's like, you guys are not dressed and ready to accompany me to this match with Seth Whitehead. And Eureka's like, dude, we're fucking destroyed. And Zell's like, okay, and do you want me to be? Do you want me to be destroyed, or do you want us all to be fucked? So get in your fucking gear, because you're coming out to the ring with me. And Eureka and Onslaught are like, oh my god, alright, we'll get ready. In the following match, we have the expelled Atsumori Takamori and Bunraku Kentori taking on the Inner City Express. The expelled have wanted respect and people in CZCW to fear them, so they picked the fight with Ice, but the Inner City Express are no pushovers. But neither are the expelled, as this match goes 12 minutes and 24 seconds, and the expelled Bunraku Kentori and Atsumori Takamura defeat the Inner City Express in 12 minutes and 24 seconds. Bunraku Kentori hits Malik Cash with the Exodus 2020, gets the victory, and a 65 rated match for the expelled. What a fucking surprise here. The new guys, the expelled, I mean, if you're in Japan, if you're a fan of the Puro scene, you know who these guys are. But Coastal Zone is not familiar with these guys, and they have been finally put on the map now in a huge upset against the Inner City Express. 65 rated match. We cut to Fox Mask and Masked Cougar just saying like, man, Fox Mask says, Cougar, I really thought our backs were against the wall last show in that three-way, but man, we're really fucking pinned this time, aren't we? But everybody at home, do you see me shaking? Do you see me scared? Because I'm not. Because Masked Cougar, with or without any of the Coastal Kings' help, is one of the greatest wrestlers in this company's history, is one of the greatest wrestlers in American wrestling history. All he's got to do is win. I think everybody just needs to trust my process. Because Masked Cougar, mark my words, Masked Cougar is not leaving tonight without the Coastal Zone Championship. 56 rated segment. It is time for the Reach for the Sky match. 6 competitors, 1 briefcase, a title match of their choosing on the next Coast to Coast. We have El Jaguar, Hugh Dayask, Kira Lee, Johnny Perez, Luis Montero Jr., and Simon Waves. Only one can win, and after 14 minutes and 50 seconds, it is Johnny Perez who climbs the ladder and gets the victory, defeating everybody else in his way. Johnny Perez pulls down the briefcase and wins the first ever Reach for the Sky ladder match, and he will get a championship match of his choosing on Coast to Coast on Monday. So 67, Johnny Perez, is it finally time for him to break out of his brother's shadow, or will he be doomed for mid-card life forever? He still has to win the title, but man, title match next show, so who knows what he's gonna do. 67 for this match. We get straight into, I want to make sure I have the angles right. Yes, we get straight into Tony DeWonderful versus Frankie Perez. And guys, Tony DeWonderful is finally a recognizable. He has graduated from unimportant, so he can wrestle in 20-minute long matches now. And his debut in a 20-minute long match is really fucking good. He goes toe-to-toe with Frankie, truly giving Frankie everything he's got. He was a man of his word. He did anything but back down. He brought the energy that he said he was going to bring. He backed up everything he said, but he still is no Frankie Perez, as Frankie Perez is able to get the victory, beating him in 19 minutes and 54 seconds, locking in the P-clutch, and getting the victory. And Frankie Perez, he stands up, his arm is raised, and he looks right down at Tony DeWonderful and spits right on him. He's fucking no respect for this man. And he goes to leave, and he starts walking up the ramp, and then he stops. And he starts shaking, his head starts shaking, and he goes under the ring, and he grabs a chair, and he puts it right around Tony DeWonderful's neck. And he gets on the second rope, and he's gonna fucking stomp on this chair. He's gonna Pillmanize his neck. And Johnny Perez, he just won the Reach from the Sky match, and he runs out, and he stops his brother. He stops him. He says, Frankie, if you fucking do this, I'm gonna be in your way. I'm gonna be the one to take it. I'm stopping you. I've had enough. I just wanted to disassociate from you and call it even. But if this is the man that you're becoming, I'm not gonna let you do this. And Frankie, he looks right at Johnny and he steps down and he shoulder bumps his brother on the way out and he flips him off and he leaves. The relationship between these two brothers may be severed forever. Up next is Seth Whitehead versus Zell Quinn. Zell Quinn is entering with the bruised and battered Q crew. They did what they said to do. They got dressed. They're in their gear. Extra bandages. And Seth Whitehead comes with a chair and just fucking lays them out before the match. So Zell Quinn demanded his henchmen get ready and accompany him to the ring. And then before his entrance can even finish, his henchmen are taken out. And Zell Quinn has to wrestle this match alone. But just like Tony DeWonderful, Zell Quinn is able to put up one hell of a fight as he goes 19 minutes and 31 seconds with Seth Whitehead. But once again, just like the Frankie Paris match, he is no Seth Whitehead. And after the 19 minutes are up, Seth Whitehead hits the butterfly powerbomb and has officially run the gauntlet of the Q crew. He has beaten all three of them in the span of 4 weeks. And yeah, a 70 rated match between Zell Quinn and Seth Whitehead. A very fun match between these two. I really love Zell. I wish he could give me better promos, but we're at the stage where it's just like keep putting him in angles and eventually his skills will develop, crossing my fingers. So a 70 for Seth and Zell Quinn, kind of a Seth Whitehead carry job. Up next is the Extreme Championship match. Tigre Salvaje Jr., Heartbroken, and Sky Hermosa in a triple threat. I have the match go 20 minutes, so Heartbroken is just fucking Sky Hermosa and Tigre just kind of fuck with him for a good bit of this match. So Heartbroken is really like battered going into this finish, and it's down to Tigre and Sky. They continue to go back and forth, and Tigre Salvaje, he goes for a springboard, and he misses, and Sky Hermosa, she climbs to the top rope, she hits her twisting press right on Tigre, she goes for the cover, but Heartbreaker pulls her out of the ring, DDT on the floor, Heartbreaker, he runs into the ring, he pins Tigre, 1, 2, kick out, Heartbroken can't do it, he almost stole the Extreme Championship. Tigre Salvaje Jr. kicked out. Sky Hermosa was DDT'd on the apron, taken out of this match. Tigre Salvaje eventually gets his bearings, is able to hit the Salvaje suplex on Heartbroken to make defense number 5 of his Coastal Zone Extreme Championship. Tigre Salvaje Jr. retains the title. I hope I made some of you bite. On that. But yes, Tigre is too good right now to take this belt off of him. And yeah, 75 overall match, 75 performance for Tigre Salvaje Jr. The match is over. Sky Hermosa gets to her feet. She shakes hands with Tigre Salvaje Jr. and Heartbreaker. He gets to his feet, and he looks like he's about to ambush both Sky and Tigre, but then Air Raid Siren comes running down. She comes running down, she gets right in Heartbroken's face. The history between these two competitors, the history is insurmountable. And it looks like Air Raid Siren's about to, I don't know, like uppercut him or something. And then out of nowhere, Air Raid Siren, she turns around and she kicks Tigre Salvaje Jr. right in the dick. And Sky Hermosa is stunned. She doesn't know what she's witnessing. Air Raid Siren has just kicked Tigre right in the fucking nuts. And then Heartbroken, clothesline right to Sky Hermosa. And Air Raid Siren and Heartbroken, they look right at each other and they shake hands. What the fuck is going on? Air Raid Siren, what are you doing? What are you doing? What have you become? What have you become, Air Raid Siren? What the fuck? Air Raid Siren is what? I don't know. Air Raid, she's acting on her own. She's become sentient and she's booking TEW herself. I don't know what's going on. But after that incredibly shocking revelation of Air Raid Siren, joining the dark side, it is time for the semi-main, And despite the fact that the stipulation of the main event does not carry into this trios match, with Fox Mask 2 absolutely bruised and battered, and Masked Cougar having to defend his title in probably the hardest situation he's been in so far, nobody comes to the aid of the Coastal Kings. And the babyfaces get the victory. The Coastal Kings have nobody to fall back on. And Carlos, Frankie, and California Love Machine get the victory. Frankie Boy Fernandez hits Air Attack Weasel in 21-26 with the Dirt Nap. And the babyfaces win. Frankie Boy got a fucking 91. 91 from Frankie Boy. Callie and Carlos both got 71s. Creative finish was a success. But yeah, is this a preview for the main event? Because nobody came to help the Coastal Kings, and they lost. And Masked Cougar is going to have nobody to help him. So after the match, Frankie, Carlos, and Callie, they go to the entrance, and they meet with American Flash right at the top of the ramp. And they look at him, and they all nod. And Flash says, "You guys got it?" And they're like, just in case, they make sure that the Coastal Kings stay far, far away. So nobody's going to be coming out for this main event. And in the main event, Masked Cougar, American Flash, Coastal Zone Championship. This match I have going 26 minutes. And it is, I think this is the third time that these two are going off. This is one of the best matchups that we have in this company. Two men with similar movesets, a high flyer of the past, a high flyer of the present. They both pull out all the stops. They go suicide dive, answered with their own suicide dive. American Flash goes for his finisher. Masked Cougar goes for his finisher. Both of them are countered. Eventually, Masked Cougar goes for the Cougar Pounce. But American Flash ducks it, catches him with a German suplex. He climbs to the top rope. Nobody from the Coastal Kings is able to come out. American Flash, he seizes the moment. He starts signaling, getting the fans start rising up. He's going for the high velocity senton. And then out of nowhere, Frankie Perez, he's not a member of the Coastal Kings. He isn't a part of these baby faces. Frankie Perez comes out. He trips American Flash with Masked Cougar, distracting the referee. Masked Cougar, he hits him with the I Am Cougar. Hear me roar. No, Masked Cougar steals it again. He steals it. Frankie Perez has just cost American Flash the match. Oh my God, Frankie Perez said that under no circumstance would he allow somebody like American Flash to be the world champion, and he has just interfered with the Coastal Kings all banned from ringside, and the baby faces all banned from ringside. Nobody was able to stop Frankie Perez. Nobody was able to help Masked Cougar until Frankie Perez, and Masked Cougar once again has escaped with the Coastal Zone Championship. And then we get a sight to see. Fox Mask comes out with the biggest smile. You can see the stupid fucking grin right below his face, and he just looks at the crowd, and he says, "Do you all trust my process yet? Do you all trust my process yet?" Because Frankie Perez has come in and out. He has seen the light. He has seen undeserving challengers like American Flash come in and demand title shots and get them. This is exactly what we're talking about. And Frankie Perez, would you mind taking off your hoodie? And Frankie Perez, he unzips his hoodie. And on his t-shirt is the Coastal Kings logo. Frankie Perez has officially joined the Coastal Kings. All because of the new homegrown talent getting one too many challenges in Frankie Perez's eyes. Frankie Perez has turned his back on the company, on everything he stands for, just to spite American Flash. And he has joined the Coastal Kings. Alright. Frankie. I guess Air, right? Air. The Coastal Kings gets another new member. And it's Frankie Perez. And that is how we end Reach for the Sky 2022. Masked Cougar escapes once again with the championship. 79 rated main event. What a main event. Honestly, I'm fine with that. 81 for this match, too. It's gonna be hard. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be hard for them to get that belt off of him. They've just got too many people at their exposure. Once you think you've got somebody, then you don't. Frankie Boy's awesome. Who else is awesome? California's great performance, and who else did good? Honestly, let's give Seth some. Let's give Seth a hug. He carried Zelquin there. $136,000 made on that pay-per-view. Another popularity point in the Southwest. Good to see. I got really into that pay-per-view. I'm very happy. A lot of fucking shocks. A lot of shocks. Air Raid Sirens joined the dark side. Frankie Perez has joined the dark side. Masked Cougar escapes again. The Expelled defeated the Inner City Express. I mean, Johnny Perez now? Now what's he gonna do? Who's he gonna challenge? Is he gonna go the easy route and challenge for the Extreme Championship? Or is he going to challenge for the world title now that his brother is a member of the Coastal Kings? 77,000 viewers. Look at that. Me and Frankie are besties. Look at that. Awesome. Thank you, Frankie. I love you too. I love you too, Frankie. But yeah. Newest member of the Coastal Kings, Frankie Perez. I'm sure I've mentioned it. Like, I'm recording this outro live. I do the pay-per-view outros live, but I pre-record, I record the intros and outros to the Coast to Coast episode separately, so I don't know if I have explained it, but in the event that I haven't, Atlantis Calling, we are putting a pay-per-view in between, Reach for the Sky and Hardcore Halloween, because it would have been like a 7-week build. So I have added Atlantis Calling. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's another 4-week build until Atlantis Calling, which is going to be our next pay-per-view. The debut of Atlantis Calling. And then, yeah. So, Hardcore Halloween is not next. Atlantis Calling, made by Flash. Again, graphic for Flash. It'll be in the description of this video if I remember. I might forget. If I do forget, leave a comment. I'll do it again. But it is 100% in the video 2 episodes ago. It's in episode 23. I've linked to both Flash's and Will Rock's pages, so you can get these logos yourself. These ones were not made by me. Will Rock made this. Flash has made these event logos. So go check out. They both have some really good stuff. But, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed these shocking revelations here in Coastal Zone. And I hope you all come back for the build to Atlantis Calling 2022.